Hi listeners, as with last week, this is a game that requires some darker themes, so before the start of this episode, I want to give you some trigger warnings for the following. Mention of guns, mention of a fake terror attack, and non-consensual vampiric feeding and brainwashing. For player safety, we use the Lines and Veils and X-Card systems, and fill out a consent survey beforehand, created by Kienna Shaw and Lauren Bryant-Monk. As always, if you come across any content for which you feel we have not given proper warning, please let us know by emailing us at direcastpod@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to our safety section, and now, on with the show. Welcome to Direcast, unless you are a vampire, and then you are most decidedly unwelcome. Here at Direcast, our group of 6 confused immortals play different RPGs.
Seven!
A new game at... Jacob.
Yep. Sorry. I saw the chance and I took it.
Welcome to Direcast, unless you are a vampire, and then you are most decidedly unwelcome. Here at Direcast, our group of 6 confused immortals play different RPGs, bringing you a new game and system every few weeks. And once again...
Keep it together, people. Keep it together.
And once again, we are in fact 7, because for this series of games we still have our wonderful guest, KC. And we are continuing our game of Vampire the Masquerade, delving deeper into the dark secrets of the Kindred of London. The intro question this week is, who is your favourite fictional vampire? Oh, I gotta go with Spike from Buffy. You just gotta.
Excellent.
The hair,
choice.
the attitude, the coat, the terrible British accent, it's all there.
Now listen, Slayer. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to kill you because I'm just. That's my best.
It's the way
Spike
he
impression.
calls Dawn little bit. Just
Little bit. Hello,
My-
little bit.
my favourite
I'm
Spike
from
moment.
London because my name's Spike. So,
My name's it's William the
right.
Bloody. My favourite Spike moment has got to be when he kills the Slayer in the Boxer Revolution. First of all, her stake is a bamboo, which is just wonderful.
That whole episode is
It's so fucking
So we're not
funny.
here to nerd out about Buffy. I could do an entire podcast on nerding
let's
about
do
Buffy the
that.
Vampire Slayer, but that's for later. That's for
Well,
after.
I can see it, but it's
when
just
she, like,
all
she,
that
like,
we can
says
say is
in
let this
Cantonese-
rest in peace.
Peace,
And move
yes.
on.
No, let me finish the moment. It's when
Sorry.
she says, like, tell my teacher I say goodbye, and he goes, sorry, love, I don't speak Chinese.
That just sounds kind of
Fucking-
racist.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
He's
favourite
certainly
moment?
not a hero.
He's a
but
bad
he's cool.
guy.
He's
He's
a
a
hero.
bad guy. Have you never seen Buffy? Oh my
I
god.
only saw up to like season 4.
He's
There's a
in
lot
there.
of it. Yeah,
There
he's a
is.
bad
There
guy
is-
in
yeah.
there, but then he doesn't he turn good?
Kinda.
Yeah, you
He
kind
gets
of
a soul.
series 4 is when he's starting to become good. 5 is when he kind of really comes around.
Nice.
Yep. Hi, I'm Jacob, and for my favourite vampire, I've got to go with Mavra from the Dresden Files, because she is smart, she is dangerous, and she's like, yeah, she just has a vibe that none of the other, a lot of the other villains don't. She's one of the few villains that I feel that Dresden is still genuinely scared of.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it also started that whole like subplot of him recovering from getting his hand barbecued
Yeah.
by her,
Which one is she? Is she the...
she's
the
the
Black
Black Court
Court?
vampire.
Oh yeah, you first meet her, she's dressed like a harlequin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she appears alongside. She appears. I think she appears briefly at the start of Deadbeat, which is one of my favourite books, and she
Yeah.
also. She also gives Dresden a good seeing to in the battlegrounds as well.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Helen, and I think my favourite fictional vampire has to be Carmilla from the 1872 novel Carmilla.
Oh,
Solid
fuck
choice.
yeah.
A classic. It's all like, oh no, sexuality, femininity, growing up.
Lesbians.
But also the character at one point when like the victim is like, oh no, I've had nightmares. She's like, oh, I've had them too. I've had nightmares. Honest, yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
So dramatic.
I sleep.
Yeah,
My
yeah, I
favourite
definitely
thing
sleep.
about her is that she keeps changing her name, but she just makes it an anagram of the
Yeah.
same name, and there's a limit to what you can do with those letters.
I don't know what you mean. All the names sound so reasonable and realistic.
Mirkala.
So what name are you travelling under? Leclerc.
Look at him!
Honestly, it would be more
Licorice bar?
believable if she was just like, yeah, those are my Pokemon evolution names.
Find out.
I like that.
Hello there, my name's Peter, and my favourite fictional vampire is Nandor the Relentless from What We Do in the Shadows, because he is... Oh, he's just such a good character. I mean, he begins off with just, I am Nandor the Relentless, because I do not relent. And, you know, with lines like that. And it's an amazing series. And I haven't watched the original film. I need to do that at some point.
The film's really good.
Yeah.
I really
I've
like
never
it.
seen it. I really need to. I haven't seen the series either.
Oh, the series
I've
is
only
so
seen
good.
the film. I've never seen the series. I've only seen the
If
film.
you like one, you'll like the other.
Yeah,
they're different characters, very similar humour.
Yeah, it's all on the BBC, and it's Matt Berry just swanning around in a cape, doing very Matt Berry things.
We're
Very
werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yeah,
My God.
such a good one.
Hi, I'm H. Lots of good vampires were mentioned already. So I'm going to go for Strahd von Zarovich from the
Oh,
D&D
no.
module.
Entirely fair.
Because
Chad
I've
cannot
had
be
some-
your favourite vampire.
I've
Chad
got
is
to
my
play
favourite
that
vampire,
sometime.
Literally because we call him Chad, and we have a long history with Chad. I've been playing Curse of Strahd for like 3 years with some of these guys on the podcast, some of them not. And it's been a great time. So shout out to them and Strahd for making it all possible. Sorry, Chad.
I want to play Curse of Strahd sometime.
I miss when you
Sounds
used to
fun.
come home screaming about what Chad had done.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Chad.
that vampire.
And, and finally, Casey.
So, I am still in two minds. On one hand, you've got the badass Blade.
I wondered when someone would
nice.
mention him.
But on the other hand, you've got, like, Eric Northman from True Blood. I'm just like,
Oh my God.
who do I choose, man? Who do I choose?
Blade, because
think
I've
you
never
can
watched
choose
True Blood,
both.
and therefore
I've
can't have
never
an opinion
seen
on it.
either.
Oh,
You've never seen
God.
Blade?
No.
Oh,
Blade's
it's
good.
I
good.
haven't either.
It is an insane film, and then you get to
Yeah.
the third one where what was the main actor's name? Wesley Snipes
Wesley Snipes.
had gone mad at that point. Had to CGI his eyes open.
Everything was just crazy.
But the first couple of films are quite good.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think I'm going to have to give it to Blade.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because.
Give it up for Blade. Woo! Woo!
Well done, Blade. Well done.
Alright then. With that out of the way, let's get to it.
The sun is starting to go down. It is January, but it's probably not set yet. 3 p.m. You are gently shaken awake, Ernest, by Thompson, as per your instructions. Does he waft like a blood-soaked rag under your nose to try and get you? I don't know.
Get me
Sir,
to smelling plasma.
my lord. You asked to be woken, my lord. He kind of shakes you a little bit. As you get up, can you make a rouse check for the day?
Well, that was an 8.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, you don't gain a point of hunger.
Brilliant. Thompson, did you,
Everything's
Was there
prepared,
any-
sir. The car is waiting. I've ironed a fresh shirt for you.
Oh, delightful. Oh, sorry, it's very early.
I know, sir.
How was did anything happen on your,
Last night, sir, no, it was relatively quiet. I believe I didn't really see anyone but myself.
is, Ms. Tawari all ready?
So I believe, sir. She said she'd be waiting for you in around 45 minutes. In the common room.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Wonderful.
You're going to the House of Lords.
I'm
or
going
Parliament
to
or
get
something.
ready, and if you bring the car around, and we'll go while the light is still out, I suppose. Delightful. Do help me with those trousers, will you?
Yes, of course, sir. Yeah, helps you dress.
Does the tie.
Yep. Helps you do your hair.
Alright, so Ernest is going to get dressed, and then I'm going to use one of my disciplines. It is called Defy Bane. So what it officially means is that he can be temporarily resistant to fire and sunlight, as well as grievous wounds.
Lovely.
And to do it, it costs 1 rouse check.
Arouse again, my good fellow.
That is a
Oh,
7.
my beauty.
Another success. You're feeling quite lively this morning.
He really is.
Almost alive.
Good rolls, man. Good rolls.
Yeah,
the
so
excitement.
looking quite spry, if I may say so. That blue brings out the blue in your eyes quite beautifully.
Oh, thank you. Well, shall we get going? And he's going to put his gloves on more out of habit and follow Thompson down the stairs where the door is open, and he will step out into the daylight.
Before you leave, I think he says, Mr. Kenneth stepped out last night, sir, but I informed him he should be back this evening for your investigation to commence.
Brilliant. And he has a key?
He does. He took
Delightful.
the purple lanyard, or tassel, whatever they call it these days. It is,
Oh, what good taste. Lilac or lavender?
lilac, actually, sir.
Oh.
Yes. Changed my perception of him somewhat.
Yeah, and he is going to go to Parliament. During the day, he asked Thompson to arrange a meeting with Ash Tiswari. Is it Tawari or Tiswari?
Tiwari.
Tiwari. With Ash Tiwari's mother, who is a member of Parliament in the Commons, ostensibly to talk about school districts.
Very clever.
So he is going to
Awesome.
have a cup of tea. So I think he's going to get there. He's going to, take a table and wait for Mrs. Tawari, and he is going to order a chamomile tea that's just basically going to sit in front of him and warm up his hands a little bit while he waits.
Aw.
And eventually you see a middle-aged Indian woman crossing the canteen, very well dressed in a skirt suit, high heels, holding a briefcase, perfectly done hair, very neat, subtle makeup, and she seems to recognise you. And you get a few looks in the room, just as you often do, being one of the younger members of Parliament generally, visually anyway. And just having 3 dots in beautiful, so everyone just stares at you occasionally.
Wait, is Ernest a member of Parliament?
He is
in
in the
the House of Lords.
House of Lords. And so have all of his ancestors. He's been in the House of Lords for about 180 years now. So he'll stand up and, shake hands with the hand that has been warmed by the chamomile. And then they sit down and start talking, and he starts off talking about, the school districts and a recent act passed to change some school districts in London. And then he's going to turn into, do you have any children? While we talk about schools, I had such an awful time trying to get young Ernest enrolled in blah, blah, blah. And basically try and find out, everything he can about Ash Tiwari from his mother.
Cool, so roll me a charisma persuasion check.
Okay, so I've got 4 for charisma, 3 for persuasion,
Cool.
and because I'm beautiful, I get a +1 to all social rolls.
That is
Because I'm
+1. Is that
beautiful.
+1 dice or +1 to the score?
+1 dice.
+1.
I think
one
it's
dice.
always a dice, yeah. You
Yeah.
don't really do
Right,
modifiers
so
in this game,
that's-
which is quite nice, actually.
That's 8 dice.
That is 8 dice. And she's enjoying her conversation. You seem perfectly civil, quite human, almost.
5.
Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah, no, you didn't need that many successes. That's very good. So, yeah, she seems utterly enamoured with you. She's a member of the Conservative Party. She has a vague awareness of who you are. I don't know are you a member of any political party, Ernest?
I mean, it's going to have to be the Tories, isn't it?
Yeah, let's be honest. Oh,
Oh, the Whigs, darling.
truly
I've got the
are
Whigs.
playing evil characters.
Alright, but does she tell him anything actually useful?
Yes, so Ash is an investment banker, and he lives in Canary Wharf. She hasn't heard from him in a little while, but I'm sure he's well. She was thinking of meeting him for dinner tonight. Now she's down in London, but he didn't reply, but that's not unusual. He's very busy, works very long hours at Barclander TSB, very successful, took after his father. His father did the same thing in the same company, and he's
Does he find out, whereabouts in Canary Wharf?
Yeah, she'll happily share his work address if you ever feel like calling on him. He has great connections, blah, 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 blah.
So he's straight away going to want that.
Yeah.
Both
so...
work and then as close to, whereabouts does he live? I had a friend who lived near in
Oh,
search...
absolutely. Those these lovely apartments, penthouse suite. And so she just starts talking about his apartment and all the new fittings and how it's really nice. There's a swimming pool and there's porters and all of this stuff. So she basically tells you it's this particular high-rise apartment block. I don't know if it would be weird for her to just give you his house number, but you could definitely discern it by, speaking to the concierge or something like this.
Yeah.
So you know which block he lives in Canary Wharf.
In some ways, he wants to get enough information to give it to Megan. You can do things with this, yes?
Oh, absolutely. You can find this guy's,
your
postal
magic
address now.
box?
Yeah.
Megan, dear.
Yeah, so with 5 successes, you know where he lives, you know where he works, you probably even know, his favourite restaurant in the area. It's this fancy oyster bar or something that he's taken her to at some point.
And how she plans to vote on this one
Absolutely,
school
yes.
district.
Which basically I think will come to however you would like her to, Lord Crabtree.
So when that finishes, he will, thank her for her time, shake hands again with a cooler hand now. He hasn't had a sip of this tea, it's just been slowly, occasionally he'll bring it to his mouth and then put it back down as though he was drinking it, and then he is going to head back home.
I think Ken would have already turned up.
Yeah, they're a bit early.
Yep.
Sort of sunset. Thompson, looking pretty darn tired, is going to let you in. Poor guys, I had a couple
He
of hours
actually
sleep.
came. I was expecting we were going to have to go and find him.
Yeah. You don't turn down immortal, terrifying monsters.
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
exactly. That.
Yeah, Thompson ushers you into the guest
Especially
room.
when one of them is your dad.
Gets you a glass of water. I imagine the others will be down soon. You arrived a little early. It's barely sunset. Before Thompson leaves you sitting in the guest... What do you call the room where you greet guests?
Drawing room?
Drawing room, thank you.
People
Yeah.
cupboard.
Before he leaves the
cupboard.
people cupboard, before he leaves the people cupboard, he will stop and turn around and say, Mr. Kenneth, before the others arrive, is there anything I could possibly answer for you that would save you any social difficulties down the line that you may not wish to ask them yourself? I know how it is to be new to this scene.
I don't even know where to begin.
He's
Thompson.
very, very professional, but you see a very faint smile.
Seraphima gave you a very big book.
Yes. Was it in
That,
English?
you can't read. Yeah, it's not in English.
She found the English translation.
He says, well, very good, sir. If you do think of anything, my rooms are downstairs. He leaves. All right. So, Megan, let's go to what you found out, because I have got information for you.
Right, yeah. So Megan stayed up pretty late or early, whatever,
Yeah.
into the day.
Uh-huh.
She did go to sleep eventually. She has slept, but
Yeah,
it
good.
was a short night's sleep. She lost track of time. What did she find?
So, you rolled 4 successes, correct?
Correct.
So, the picture, first off, I'm going to copy your accent, was sent from an iPhone 5, registered to a UK number. It's on a pay-as-you-go top-up card, and you ring it and it just goes straight to voicemail. It seems to be in Canary Wharf, currently, that phone.
The phone that sent the picture.
The phone
is
that
in
sent
Canary
the
Wharf.
picture is in Canary Wharf.
Yep. Cool.
But it isn't answering, so maybe it's out of battery, who knows. What is on the phone that you're currently holding, that you were given by the Princess Seneschal Eloise, is very little. There's basically just a picture and a text, but you look back and basically a bunch of stuff's been deleted off it. It did seem like it was a working phone that someone had been using. You can recover contacts on there, about 23 of them. You can restore them if you like. Basically, the phone overall doesn't look like it's used like a huge amount. Like, the outer casing is a little scuffed. It looks like it's probably kept around, but it doesn't look like it's seen, like the keys still feel quite stiff. It isn't clearly texted on constantly, and yeah, 23 contacts is really not that many for a modern personage.
So it's someone's like grudging phone that they've
Yes.
used when they need to use a phone.
Absolutely. You
Cool.
can flick through some of the names on the contacts list.
Eloise in there?
Eloise is not in there.
Ernest in there?
No. You don't recognise any of the names.
What about the photo? Anything? Did I get anything from the photo, or is it just a cellar?
It's just a cellar. It looks like modern concrete. It's not old-fashioned brick or anything, and it looks like it's got quite harsh fluorescent lighting, and it looks kind of dirty.
Which we'll check out for Canary Wharf, new build,
Yeah.
rather than say.
Yeah, it's not like
Cool.
in a basement of a Victorian house or anything such spooky. It's
Cool.
yeah.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
I'm scrolling BuzzFeed right now.
Scroll and BuzzFeed.
Look.
Yep.
Tyburn will come back in and then immediately get on the... is this in the library or is it in the people cupboard?
I feel like the library is where they go as like a family to discuss things.
Thompson will take Kenneth into the library then, I think, as people start arriving.
All right, well, Tyburn will go up. He's going to keep reading the book that he doesn't take to his room. He just leaves it in the library, which is 1,001 battles that shaped the world. He's like halfway through it, so he's just going to sit there and keep reading that.
Excellent, excellent. Legs swinging
Is
between
he
the
like
banisters
finding
of
the
the
ones
gallery.
that he was in?
I don't think
Like-
if he's halfway through 1,001 battles that shaped the world, I don't think he's actually up to him yet.
So it's this sort of behaviour that means that Ernest absolutely adores him, though. She's like, look at him, a gentleman reading.
Well, he's not swinging his legs. He'll probably be cross-legged and trying to look as angry and slightly anguished as possible.
So Seraphima hasn't come down yet because she's doing a ritual.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So,
What's your ritual?
Yeah, so the first thing she does when she wakes up is she opens up her shutters to let the moonlight in. And she pulls out her ritual dress, which is a silk dress that she made out of silk that she spun herself
Good God.
from silkworms that she raised herself, fed on the leaves of a mulberry tree that she grew.
Oh boy.
So, yeah.
So
It's
all that's
very-
beautiful, but how good a seamstress is she? Is it just like a potato sack? Is it
Very,
like all the
very good.
ideas are
It's gonna
great,
say just a
but
really
the end result
bad
is not
nightgown
that?
It's just
with like a
patchy
pinched
and
hem.
terrible. No,
It
it's
looks like
really
a
beautiful.
child's like angel costume from a school play.
No, it's really good. It's very,
Yeah.
very beautiful. It's just kind of like a simple slip dress, but she puts it on. She pins her hair back, and she's going to do her ritual, illuminate the trail of prey.
Nice.
So she has a white satin ribbon, which she takes out of her ribbon drawer. The performer of the ritual soaks the ribbon in their own blood. She makes a cut, brings out enough blood to soak this ribbon, she puts it in the bowl, and she dips the ribbon into it. If the ritual roll is a win, the ribbon catches fire despite being wet. Once consumed, the ritual takes effect. When the ritual remains active, the caster can follow faint traces of the target, even in areas where they left no tracks, such as crowded cities. Wait, it sees the path travelled by the victim over the previous 24 hours. It remains visible for the entire night.
There we go then. Yeah, so you succeed. Okay, good. And the ribbon catches fire in your hands.
So when we come across a place in the city where the target has been within the last 24 hours, it will glow slightly.
Is Vermilion back from his?
Let's see.
Misadventure.
Yeah, no, I went on a binge, and I've woken up, failed my rouse check. I come down from the loft space in the theatre. I am in my traditional Duke dress. I waft past the door people. Enjoy the show tonight. I am going to mingle with some of my more nocturnal circles, and I make sure to bow extravagantly as I back out of the of the doors.
Dorman just gives you, like, finger guns.
Yep.
They're used to this.
I show up fashionably late in surprisingly good spirits. Good evening, fellow travellers of the night. How fares things this evening? Oh, that's surprisingly high energy to maintain. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. What have we got?
Set us back 200 years every time you do that accent. You know that,
Well,
right?
200 years ago, we were on the ascendancy, so I don't see the problem with that.
Ah, brilliant. You're all here. Perfect. Has everyone had a good day's sleep? I was at Parliament during the day today, so I've got some information from our missing ghoul's mother to share. And, Megan, darling, I'm hoping you can help me out.
Peeks his head up.
She says nothing. She just pulls out her laptop.
You mentioned you were out in the daytime. Kenneth looks up from his phone, because he's just been on his phone this entire time.
Playing Angry Birds. It's that era.
Oh god, no! I'm still on BuzzFeed.
Oh,
Still on
Do you know how many quizzes I've done in this time?
Oh, that's a good point, actually, yeah. What kind of cabbage are you?
Oh, he's
Savoy?
definitely a sweetheart.
Savoy.
Savoy.
Aww.
Savoy, yeah.
Look up the article, the top 10 sexiest MPs in Parliament. You'll be surprised. You might see a familiar face on there.
Megan, what?
Saw it.
I don't think
Top
now is
10
the
people
time
who are
for
definitely
these.
not vampires.
This is not the time for games. He's just gonna explain everything. I'm not gonna repeat it all.
Where was he last seen? Was he last seen at work or at home or?
I don't think we know.
We don't
Honestly,
know.
you
We
pull up
probably
his
need to go to
LinkedIn
work.
and you know what department he was.
Yeah,
Do
we
we
know
know-
the building he works in. We know the department he works in. We know the building he lives in. We know his favourite restaurant, and we know his family tree, and his educational
How long
history.
ago did he go missing? Like several days ago.
We have him 5 days ago in a picture in a basement. We have him not answering his phone this evening. We have Mother not concerned yet.
Okay, well, I have done ritual. I will be able to see his trail from the last 24 hours if I go somewhere that he has been. So we need to
Get to
start
Canary Wharf.
at house, and at work. And if neither of those, then we have to find where this picture was taken.
Delightful. I'll have Thompson bring the car around.
Yep, I'll give you
Shotgun.
everything I've got as well. Just kind of adding to the list about the phone. I can kind of update you on the way info drop.
I have all of the equipment in this bag here. However, I have realised that if people could stash things about their person so that we're not walking around with a big bag, not quite marked swag, but definitely marked suspicious.
Put it in the back of the van.
But why did you write suspicious on it then?
Dearest Tyburn, no one has ever considered me suspicious in my long, long lives.
I'm afraid that's a lie, sir.
verifiably untrue.
Okay, yeah.
I'd look at that BuzzFeed article, Ernest. I've told you before. Some people think you're very suspicious.
Buzz. I am not a bee.
We have to keep recasting your son.
I am
People
not
are
a bee.
noticing.
That's a great fucking line.
Right.
Sorry.
So he's going to try and stash as much equipment about his person. However, he will ask somebody to put like a crowbar in their pockets.
Excellent.
Is
I'll
that
put
a
it in the
crowbar,
back
or are
of
you
the
happy to see me?
Listen, you can fit a lot down the front of a corset. Give me the crowbar. You genuinely can fit.
Oh
a lot
yeah,
down
no,
the
I've
front of a
no
corset.
doubt. It's just a delightful thought.
Let's go.
On the way there, I'm in the wagon with I'm in the bikemobile with Megan.
Okay.
Yep, like at least one person can ride with me. There's a passenger seat.
Yep.
So ride with me, Duke.
Yep. As we're going through, I'm going to suggest there are a couple of theatres near Canary Wharf. I'm going to suggest using my retainer to put in a call at one of them, so we have where we can lay low during the day
A sort of
to
bolt
stay.
hole.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to keep going forwards and
I'm
backwards.
not sleeping in a locker.
It's not going to be directly in the financial district, but close enough that it's like closer than Ernest's
It's
house.
like
Yeah,
in, like,
exactly.
Central West. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else to discuss on
What
the
up?
way, or shall we unload a bunch of
I think we're
vampires
good.
from a car into the financial district late at night on a Saturday?
Please render the scenario.
It is
pull up
rendering.
to the building.
Come back in 2 hours. The processor's overheating slightly. Okay, so you pile out of your two cars. Parking in Canary Wharf is a nightmare, and you pay about £10 for an hour.
just to note, I'm not going to get out the van straight away. I mean, I look like a leper. I'm going to stay in the van for the minute.
Will you just put like a GoPro on one of us?
Yes, that's a great idea.
Or even just be on vid call to Kenneth. I volunteer my child as
He looks up from his phone. It's like,
You put a
I'm gonna say-
you put a GoPro in my corset along with the
I think for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to have Ken have the earpiece, just because you'll know how to use it. Like, you'll understand,
Yeah.
Ken.
Mhm.
But
You have used the boob GoPro in the past. Though.
Yeah, they're
I'm
before
gonna,
Ken.
she's going to note down boob GoPro as like
That's
an idea
the
to
backup
develop.
plan.
Like,
It's always good to have a plan B, even if the plan B is fucking insane.
Even if the plan B is a size C.
Hey.
Promise you I've written a plot, guys, if you ever find.
sorry.
We're having fun.
I know.
oh god.
Plan
Sorry.
B for boob.
Ken looking up as if he was not paying attention at all, being handed a earpiece. It's like, what am I supposed to be doing?
You put it in your ear.
I know that. Yeah, but why? Why am I
So
such
that we don't cause a panic when this one goes into Canary Wharf,
Who's going to Canary Wharf?
Not her.
not Megabyte.
There aren't many bankers that look like me.
Straight out there.
They all look like you on
Yes,
the inside.
that is
if
the
you're
ideal.
wondering.
You'll do it.
We tried using this earpiece before, but apparently I'm not meant to loudly talk back to it.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that you know how this works, Ken.
Oh, I know. Yeah, of course. Have you not seen Comic-Con? Like,
I'm sorry.
and VidCon?
Don't worry about them. Like, do you reckon you can handle this? I'll be in the van. I'll be talking to you. If you need anything, tech support. I'll
Sweet,
be
talking
with
my
you.
way into a place? Sure, I can do this.
Do you need to offer it blood magic, or do
I
I
mean-
need to do a ritual on it to make it
Seraphina,
work? Anything?
Seraphima, this
Yes?
is past the 18th century. You do not need to use
Yes?
blood magic on it. It
But
has
we're using
electricity.
blood magic all the time.
I know,
Liquid
I
but
use it
courage
for
wouldn't help.
everything.
Wouldn't hurt.
I'm using it right
Oh,
now.
Tom,
Right, okay.
driver,
On that
chauffeur,
note-
where's that whiskey? And it's gonna pull
Oh,
a
I meant,
full
I
like
meant,
decanter
I meant the other thing.
and like pour like time
The-
poured the decanter. Just be like, oh,
The other thing, yeah.
I have brandy.
I'm more of a red kind of guy.
Oh dear, I haven't got any wine in the car.
Oh, you're hungry.
Oh, of course.
We can work first, feed later. Fina, is there any trail?
What did you just call me?
Seraphima,
Hi.
what can you see?
What do your vampire eyes see?
Well, strangely enough, he hasn't been in this very specific parking spot, so you immediately
What?
don't get anything in the car
Yeah, I
park.
wasn't going to make the check until we were, like, somewhere closer to where we were going.
Well, I'll give you that for free. They didn't park in this particular parking spot.
I took heightened senses as one of my thingamajigs, and I'm turning those on now, which means that I just add my Auspex rating to all my perception rolls, but if any really loud or flashy things happen, then I have to make a saving throw kind of thing.
What's the situation like Canary Wharf Saturday night, January?
Oof.
Is there a...
Well,
miserable
is
would be
it dead? Is it...
It's not. There's enough bankers who work or live locally that there is quite a thriving nightlife in the local bars. Everyone is wearing suits. Everyone is white and incredibly
wanker.
middle class looking, and it's
Ernest
pretty
fits
grim.
right in.
He does.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of drinking going on. Like, you can smell the booze on these mortals, like, without any heightened senses.
They smell delicious.
And they're even standing outside, you know, smoking, chatting, stuff like this, despite the cold, because they're mostly pretty intoxicated even at this early hour.
Oh, I stand out like a sore sodding thumb.
Oh
my
you do.
Yeah, we
God,
look
yeah.
utterly
In fact,
insane.
all of you stand out except for Ernest, who looks like one of them.
Ernest is marching ahead
I mean-
with this lot, like, trailing behind them, looking really, like, out of place. And he's just like, la 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 la.
Yeah, you got like a hipster, a goth, a panto vamp. Luckily, Megan is staying in the car, and Tyburn, who just looks beefy and is wearing jeans. That's basically my only image of him. Are you still in your Duke Vermilion outfit then, Duke Vermilion?
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah,
He
you are
never
getting
takes
a
it
lot
off.
of attention then. This is not normal for Canary Wharf. Like, there's Snickers and, like, people probably, like, someone throws, like, a plastic shot glass at you, and then they start laughing in, like, that upper class way, because, like, they've seen someone who doesn't look like them.
Ken is getting as far away from that as possible.
So, where are you headed here? Have you got a place in mind? Are you going to the building where you know he lives? Are you going to the building where you know he works? Are you just having a quick wander first, seeing if you come across the track?
I think Ernest is trying to head towards the building where he lives in the hopes he can talk to the concierge
Yeah.
and find out what room he's in.
Okay.
Hoping to go for where he lives first, yeah.
Cool. So you arrive outside a very fancy, it's a bit fancy looking block of apartments. It's quieter here. People are either in the bars or tucked up at home watching their giant plasma screen televisions or working out in the gym endlessly, because that's all rich people do. And
Also watching giant plasma screen televisions in the gym.
or they're doing that. I think quite a few of them might be. There is someone at the desk in this sort of reception. It's almost like a hotel, but it is residential building. But the door has like a key swipe pass to even get through the turning glass doors. Though I'm sure you could call their attention. But yes, it's very shiny. Like, it's this polished marble, and like the lifts look like they've got gold buttons. And this is the apartment of someone with a lot of money.
I think Ernest is going to be like, maybe I should take this one.
May I offer a suggestion?
Always, my darling.
Is there... does it have a car park attached to it?
Pulls up plans on Google.
I lean into Kenneth and ask the question again.
I say, yes, there's a car park.
Absolutely.
It might be better to get into the lift through there. I must imagine that the lift in the car park goes directly up to the apartments without going through the concierge.
You'll have to get you'll have to get past the guard at the car park, probably.
It'll have a key.
And we don't know which room is the right one yet, do we? Let me speak to the concierge, and I'll find out what room it is, and then we can take
right.
the...
Alright, so yes, you can see the concierge sitting behind the computer. She looks very neat, very well put together, completely impassive face. Probably pretty
Right.
bored.
Ernest is going to flick back his hair and walk in confidently.
Okay, she sees you sort of pause by the spinning doors and presses a button, and they start rotating, and you enter. It's very warm inside.
And he gets really confused and gets stuck between them.
I think I can imagine at some point Megabyte took him for practice on revolving doors. Like at some point in the last 100 years.
Follow me. We're gonna try it again.
Just keep
try
walking.
it again.
Just keep
It's
walking.
turning, it's turning!
These ones are automatic. It's fine.
All right, calm down. We'll try again. Okay, sorry. Go.
Right. So, so you head in, and you absolutely, I think, look perfectly in place. She clearly doesn't recognise you, though. She looks up and just greets you with a very polite "Good evening. How can I help you?"
Good evening, I'm looking for my friend Ash Tawari. He told me he would meet me here. Could you call up for me, please?
Yes, of course, sir. What's your name, please?
Oh, it's, Lord Algernon.
You can see her like eyebrow almost want to raise, but again, she's very well trained. She loves all these rich people. She'll go, "Yes, just a minute then," and turn around and get her list up and start to ring up for you. You can look over and see what number she's ringing if you want, or see if you can see a list of like the names.
Yes, I'm gonna have to, aren't I?
And so he's going to be in room 59. Well, not room, it's an apartment, so apartment 59.
Apartment 59. Brilliant.
Ernest, what's your observance? Have you got Auspex at all? Just generally as a discipline?
Nope.
Roll me a wits awareness.
Yeah, okay, so it's only 4 dice. 3 successes.
Oh god, everyone's rolling really well. As the list of names comes up and she scrolls through on her computerized like phone system to ring his particular doorbell, you see a familiar name pop up on the list and you recognise her as a Camarilla member. So she clearly lives in this building as well, and the name is Kenna Glass. Glass is the prince's surname.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's a Camarilla member who's specifically related to the prince.
Quite possibly, or at least she's taken his name for some reason.
Ah, okay.
For fun.
So that probably also gives you a clue as to whose domain you're in right now.
Oh, great.
Fun
Well,
times.
it makes sense.
Yeah, keep the ghoul in the
technically
building.
makes sense.
Yeah. You did go to his house, guys. I wasn't actually expecting you to go here first for whatever reason.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, we have been tasked with finding him. So.
You have. So she rings for a minute and she looks back. I'm very sorry, sir. He's not picking up at the moment. I think he might be out. Would you like to leave a message?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Could you tell him that, I received the present he sent, last Tuesday and that I'm very grateful.
Of
And
course.
that I look forward to having him over for wine soon.
Excellent. She writes that down for you. Good. And then she politely sort of smiles at you as they're like, and now you leave.
Delightful, thank you. And he leaves.
Have a lovely evening.
As both of you leave, I'm like, why are we not up there looking in his apartment?
Well, then we draw attention to ourselves.
Not if you do it right.
Not if you do it right.
Now that you've gone in once, who goes in next?
This poor concierge.
I thought we agreed that once I told dear Megabyte, it's apartment number 59. Megan.
Hey, I've got it.
Brilliant. And
Please,
she'll be able to
Kenneth.
tell us where in the house it is, and then we will be taking the back route in through the garage.
I'll look for fire exits and stuff like that. I've got the building plans up, so I'll kind of work out where the flat number is.
Yep.
Any chance I can pull up in these schematics if I got fire exits?
Yeah, roll an intelligence technology roll again, I think. That's quite specific information. I'm sure for security reasons it wouldn't be too publicly available.
I got 6 successes.
Good God.
And I got a double 10, one of which was a hunger dice.
Oh,
no.
no.
That means-
Critical our first of the game.
Whoa.
Damn. Right, well, I don't even know what to do with 9. I think you could, like, shut down this building if you wanted to.
8 successes, not 9.
Alright, if you'll allow me, I've got one specific thing I wouldn't mind going for.
Please.
If the 9 is strong enough. I was going to ask someone. Can I get the personal phone number and information of the concierge? Have I got that on the records as well as like?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I want her personal phone number, and with her name, I want to be able to like look at her Facebook profile. I'm like speed scanning through her Facebook and like her LinkedIn. What I want to do, just to kind of explain my plan, is I'll give you guys you want to take left, right, left, go through this way, and I'll give you direct the easiest way up. But I also want to get rid of the concierge I was just going to ring her and be like, oh, is that Mandy? Or this is your sister has been in a terrible accident, and get her out of the room, basically. Or like something like, we just want to check, I think you might have been robbed, or something like that.
I think how we might make this messy is because you're Nosferatu and you get very like obsessed with like finding out stuff and this kind of like your skill. I think maybe you just go a bit far with the whole thing and you basically kind of start a security alert in the building or something, like you sort of let them know they're being hacked. So you're just like, I'm going to scare her off, and then you're like, you know what, fuck it. And then like you set off the fire alarms and stuff like this.
Let's see how good their anti-terror protocols are.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh dear.
So I'll just ring her and I'll be like, I don't need you to panic, but we believe we have an active shooter on floor 57. I need you to shut down the building now.
Oh my god!
Okay. Panic button.
Don't panic. Stay calm. I need you to go outside, and I need you to put the building into emergency.
Okay, building going into lockdown. She starts flipping like
Activate all of
switches
your
and like
security
calling,
protocols
and
now.
like you hear alarms start to go off in the building, just like gentle fire alarms, and like leave by the nearest available exit.
Stay with me, Melissa. Stay with me.
She rushes out of the building. You see her coming towards the door.
I think the lift is going to just open and take us where we need to
yeah.
go when we get there.
The stairs are going to unlock. People need to get out, you know?
I was going to say, I think if they do get in the lift, that will be when Ernest is like, just one thing we ought to know now that all of the alarms have gone off. I think a Camarilla member may live in this building.
You're
Oh,
packed into this like two-person lift, all staring at each other like in the chest or in the eyes or in like the boobs, depending on how tall you are, and it's quite
In the
packed.
crow boob.
Yeah, there's a crowbar worryingly close to my eye right now.
Yes, there is.
At this point, Tyburn is just going to lean over to Seraphima, lean in and sort of remove the crowbar and then put it up his sleeve and just go, "That is, thank gosh, that is not warm." And then, Matt, if you'd like.
You're supposed to ask for permission before you take things out of there.
Sorry. I don't...
Anything else
what
you
else
want
do you have
from
stored
there?
down there? Oh, shit.
She starts taking things out.
Maybe it's
While
like a
those two are
dragon
doing
of
inventory,
bones,
define
an extra
Camarilla.
knife,
Camarilla, what's
a
happening?
small bowl.
possibly a relative of the prince's. I thought we were going
Which
in
floor?
quietly.
Thanks, Ernest. I would have acted completely differently if you'd have told me that. Thank you so much.
This
for
was
sharing
meant
that
to be
information.
stealthy.
Floor 30. Doors opening. Please mind the gap.
Wait,
No, that's the
guys,
tube.
hold on.
Mind the gap.
Why is there such a big gap here?
Seraphima, what do you see?
Hello. What do I see?
Make a
Alright,
check.
so as you come out onto the landing, there are two doors. I'll give you that for free with your special eyes. And one is marked 59 and the other is marked 60. As you all pile out, door 60 opens and a very small Southeast Asian woman steps out dressed in like a silk dressing gown, barefoot, and just looks at you and slightly raises an eyebrow, folds her arms and leans on the doorframe, and you instantly feel very, very small. And slightly
Apologies for the
uncomfortable.
interruption, ma'am.
Ooh.
Lord Crabtree, isn't
hang
it?
on.
Yes, my lady.
I assume this was you? She kind of gestures to
The
the lights on the
responsibility
ceiling.
lies
like a
with my
delicate hand.
coterie. I am very sorry for the interruption to your evening. We had a disagreement with security.
Ernie, who's this?
Someone very powerful. I'm just going to step in front of Kenneth so that Thingy doesn't see him.
I think she notes that, like, her eyes flicker to you, flicker to him. And just leans back on the door, kind of in a feigned disinterest, and waits for someone to explain further.
We are actually planning on entering the room next to you. We have been given a task to attend to. We meant no disturbance to you, my lady.
Looking for Ash, I presume?
Yes, my lady.
When did you last see him?
My lady.
Her eyes just flick to you, Seraphima. I think both of you, I think Seraphima and Ernest have both seen her before at an Elysium also. She's usually sort of around the prince's right hand. She is one of his children. She is a child of the prince. Quite old. She took the name, sort of, you think, out of an affectation. She sort of pauses, takes the time, inspects her nails. About a week ago, I suppose.
Cheers.
She just kind of gives you all a, like, she looks through each of you one at a time, eyes lingering, and then without saying anything, just walks back into her apartment, and you hear the door click very softly shut behind her.
Duke breathes out.
Right. Kenneth.
Yeah.
Baby.
Just be careful. She was...
Careful.
Yes, with what you say and how you say it.
Had she wanted to, she'd have killed all of us before you could have made the decision to scream.
I swear one of the rules are you
Hush.
Let's do the mission. Let's do the mission.
Kenneth, never speak in front of someone like her.
Yes.
Ever.
So I shouldn't speak in front of you
Victorian-
either. Okay, I'll
yeah,
stop speaking.
Victorian rules. Do
Yeah.
not speak until spoken to. They decide to kill you. You thank them for paying attention to you. Now, can we please get on with the mission?
Yes, let's get into the building and quiet until we get into the room.
You enter the ghoul's apartment. It is warm in here. The heating is probably still on a rotation, but immediately it feels starkly clean and everything is like perfectly put in place. A cleaner's probably been round. And you get the impression no one is in here immediately. Those of you with heightened senses, especially Seraphim, and no one is in here, and your trail doesn't light up. He's not been here in the last 24 hours.
How big is it? Like, are there lots of rooms?
Yes,
Lots of
it
places
is
to
very
check?
big. There's like a big entrance hall. I think like automatic lights come on in the like the corridor, the entrance lobby as you come in, but like the other lights are off in the house. But it's
Megabyte, can you keep the electronics
Yes.
to a minimum? I don't want to announce our presence. Speaking of which, I am going to go to the window with the largest like panorama view that I can. I'm also going to switch on my heightened senses, and
Okay.
I'm just going to be keeping an eye out for the fuzz.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, you probably know you don't have that long before someone twigs something is up, or at least calls the police to try and turn it off.
Can I establish something stupid about this apartment?
Sure.
It's one of those places where everything is like irritatingly automated.
Yes. Oh, right.
It's such a smart house.
Nope.
So like you walk past the coffee maker and it starts like brewing an espresso. And
No, literally,
everything is making
it's
us
a
jump.
smart house. Like, you wave your hand. Like, you probably can't operate most of this because it needs a human touch. But could you?
Watch.
But things just keep happening.
Yes.
Like
Lights come on wherever you
Watching-
go.
this
Like,
place is
fans
haunted.
whir to life. The heating starts. The floor gets warm. It's bizarre. Like, the computer...
Especially
Why
when
are these
Ken
burning?
walks
What is
past
going
things.
on?
Yes. Hello, this is your fridge. Can I get you a beverage?
Ah!
Right, I'm going to...
Demon.
Tyburn is going to... What's the first thing to look? Well, he's going to look through for personal effects, because this is such a neat and, like... Now, I know he's in a house and looking for personal effects. I'm looking for phone, wallet, keys, specifically, because if
Okay.
he doesn't have them, then that's telling.
Yeah.
And probably looking... suitcases. He's going to
Okay.
look to see if there's any suitcases. Because if
Right,
there
yeah,
are,
see if
then
he's
he...
packed to leave, or
Yeah,
if...
yeah, exactly.
Cool, very good idea.
Look for a safe. Look for a safe. Look for a
Yeah,
safe.
so I'm
Signs
looking
of
for
home
any
invasion.
paperwork because he's
Okay.
very paper-based. So Ernest is going to be looking specifically for papers and maybe a study because that's how he thinks the world works.
Okay, I'm trying to work out the roles. So would this be resolve investigation or wits investigation?
You could also do intelligence.
This is true. I think you're probably trying to get out of here quite fast, so I'll say, yeah, use either intelligence or wits in investigation. Yeah.
So there's a 6, and a 0. I'm feeling
Okay.
no, 6 and 9 and a 0. I didn't see what the line was.
A 0 is a 10.
Oh,
yes.
okay, never mind. I'm happy with life.
I got 2 failures, 1 failure on my hunger dice, but I got 1 success.
So Ernest was 3 successes, you were 1 success. Yeah, you're not finding much. You're just trying to work out if this guy's left the house. There's so many sodding drawers and so many of them are automated and some of them you can't open because they seem to want like a fingerprint or something, and then you're like trying to shake them open and then something else will open and hit you in the head from behind, and it's just becoming like increasingly frustrating how many storage spaces this sodding flat has. Like, where does he keep his fucking keys? You'd think it would be on a hook by the door. No, you don't get more hunger for failing a hunger dice. Casey, remind me, is there any like effect for failing a roll like this? It's not a failure. It's not like a critical failure. It's just
No.
no. I didn't think so. Cool. Just wanted to double check. Yeah. So no, you're just really not finding anything. Like, you find a shoe closet and you're staring at the shoes. Like, how many shoes does one man need? But is he wearing his shoes?
I should remind you guys, you can spend 1 willpower to reroll
I forgot.
up to 3 normal dice.
Yes. So not your hunger dice, but the other dice. So
Is it 1
because
willpower per
I'm going to
die?
say at this
No.
point, Ernest also is not finding anything that interesting with the paperwork. He doesn't keep his. I know you did, but he doesn't keep his like business records.
But this
here, so you
guy
can
lives
see
in the
his...
21st century.
Anyone else doing anything? I'm gonna say.
I want to do 2 things.
Okay.
I want to go to his dressing table, get his hairbrush, and take the hair off it. I presume there is some still on there.
Yeah, you go to his bathroom. You find like a comb. It's got some greasy hair gel on it. You can pick like a hair off there.
Ew.
I
I don't know. I don't have anything where that's necessary,
want
but I
some
feel
hair
like
'cause
it's a
you're
thing
weird.
she would do.
Cool.
Well, I think like in a lot of magic, it's a thing that you have. Anyway,
Balthazar.
the other thing I want to do.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say Balthazar looking out the window just to keep you updated on his kind of
3 successes.
lookout. 3 successes? Okay, thank you. You distantly see sirens. This is London, for goodness sakes. You've got a beautiful view across the Thames. You've got blinking lights. Like, the way this building's positioned, you feel like the other apartment might have a slightly better view, but this one is not bad at all. And yeah, you don't see anyone gathering around the foot of the building at the moment. You see a couple of people have come out. There seems to be a few people having a conversation, but no uniforms and no like cars drawing up yet. So you imagine you have a little bit longer. But it's been a little while, so you're probably gonna have to hurry up. Just logically.
Nothing in the skyline either.
I think I'm gonna change to look for a laptop instead then, as Meg has told me to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The other thing I want to do is sense the unseen.
Ooh, go for it.
3 successes.
There is no ghost standing in the centre of the room. This apartment is also devoid of blood magic, but full of bizarre technology.
Tyburn is still going through shoes at the moment. I don't think he's actually.
Tyburn, nobody hides things in their shoes.
Storyteller.
Yes.
As we entered, did this place look like it had been tampered with, or was it neat and tidy?
Very neat and tidy.
Like the cleaners had been in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything is in place. There's no coffee cups in the sink or anything. It looks very neat.
I'm guessing he wasn't taken from here, so...
Is there any dust?
Very little, no. It looks like it was recently cleaned.
Can I make a suggestion, Ken?
Go.
Go to the fridge, see if the milk is out of date.
I go to the fridge and check if the milk is out of date.
The fridge greets you with a cheery jingle, and you open the fridge. There is a box of tomatoes. There's like some juice. There's some low-fat mayonnaise. There's like a box of what looks like leftover takeaway. It's pretty sparse. It looks like he doesn't eat in much, and when he does, it's like salad.
Mm-hmm.
The milk is off.
Milk is off. Okay. He definitely hasn't been back.
I'm going to do one last look for any electronics, because Meg said to find a laptop, and he knows approximately what those look like.
Yes, okay.
Now remember, we spoke about this. It's like a clipboard that you can open.
Like a disappointing book.
He comes out of the bathroom with the digital scale.
Oh, most definitely. And
Can I help?
I think he shows it to Kenneth and it's just like, this is the laptop, yes?
Search.
Can I give him
everything.
a +1 die?
Yes, please do.
Right, so is this wits or intelligence?
Wits.
Right.
That was a scream.
Sorry.
So,
It was my
wits
thinking
plus
stream.
investigation plus an extra friendly die.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay, I have more wits than I do.
Extra friendly die.
This die is extra
5,
friendly.
9, 6, 9. Oh, they're all successes. They're all successes.
Are you kidding me? Good God. Okay, yeah, you find a personal laptop stored in a locked drawer next to the bed, which, with your ancient kindred hands, you just kind of break open slightly. It's fine.
He brings that over to Kenneth and is like, is this a laptop?
It is a small and very modern, thin black MacBook. Do they come in black? They do now. This guy's paid for it to be black.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he basically gives it and is just like, oh, delightful, when he finds out that it's actually a laptop, and then just like goes back looking in case there's any more.
Alright, but you got it anyway, so you can put that in your bag. Grab the charger, Kenneth. You're smart enough to know that Macs don't last.
Smart.
Right, is there anything more we need to get, or shall we make haste?
Is any of this a laptop?
You just pile like a TV remote and like...
One of them is like an actual fish tank.
Yeah, there's just like a toaster iron thrown in there or something.
Ken is already leaving.
This one is a waffle maker.
Sorry.
Alright, you leave with a bunch of his tech. You're just like tech raiders.
No, you can leave that. Whatever, fine, take it, fine.
And then, alright, so after grabbing a bunch of electronics...
we need the waffle press for the next production of My Fair Lady. God knows why, but apparently it's surprisingly difficult to get hold of.
Which laptop was that?
It's the one with the little ridges on the inside.
Oh, this one? He holds up like a toaster, like...
Close, but no
sandwich
cigar.
maker.
It'll do. Let's go.
Duke Vermilion, as you sort of glance behind you, you see the door to the apartment opposite cracked open very slightly. And can you make a wit subterfuge roll, please?
Okay, sure.
As you're about to get in the lift, you hear the soft-spoken voice from Kenna earlier, just not spoken out loud, just straight into your head. she says, I hope you know what you're doing. He really does want him back. And that's it. That's all.
I will, just as the lift door closes, I will just very discreetly just kind of give a loose salute.
She's
back.
already closed the door, I think, but she probably sees it.
Do any of the rest of us see her?
You've got heightened senses
I
up,
do.
Lukey, haven't you?
I do, yeah.
You probably hear the door close, and you realise she was probably watching you leave. That's not super surprising, though. Yeah.
I do. I turn to the door and do a little bow.
Okay.
Ernest
Just
takes a
in case.
turn and also bows just in case
God, this
someone
is like
there,
everyone starts
having not
bowing.
seen anything.
Just out of instinct.
Just literally like, oh,
I mean,
she's bowing.
excessive bowing is probably a good habit to
Yeah.
require in vampire society, let's be honest.
Yeah, you can't insult, probably. Wait for it, you probably can. But yeah, no,
You
good.
definitely can. There's definitely wrong ways of bowing. I'm just thinking like
Yeah.
all the Austin and how you bow badly or you don't
Oh
bow
God,
properly.
yeah. You've bowed and you've created insult because you didn't go low enough, or you moved your hand in a
so
funny way.
what was messy about that success?
I'm trying to think. Messy successes are difficult when they're not in like a combative situation or anything kind of very specific like that.
Yeah, no, I.
Any ideas? Actually, yeah.
Your mask gets slightly cornier. your accent
One of
gets
your
slightly
fake
thicker.
vampire teeth falls out and you bite it and swallow it. Just
I mean,
out of
it
anger.
was a vampire acting against him, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it would. Maybe he says something untowards or lets slip something he shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe you reply.
Because you use telepathy, right?
Yeah, she used telepathy, so she's sort of mind reading. It's telepathy as the Auspex skill, yeah. So maybe something came to mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think nothing coherent, but a sense of like ownership and responsibility towards Kenneth, which, given how I acted earlier,
Okay.
will allow her to join the dots that
Absolutely.
of the nature of
Okay.
our relationship.
She might have known already. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
she either has learned or has confirmed.
Yeah, and you're taking him around with you, and it's just confirming
Exactly.
that is him.
Yeah.
Etc. Etc. Okay, that'll do. All right, down you go. Bing, floor 32. Bing, floor 30.
Are we meant to be leaving in separate groups or all together?
Yeah. So separate. I'm splitting up.
I'll give you directions to like the fire exits and the multiple exits. I've had the concierge on the phone, and I've had her on hold and occasionally dipped back in. And at this point, I'll turn off the alarms and I'll just be like, right, I'd like to fess up to you. I'm from MI7. This was a test, and I'd like to say you've done rather well.
Oh, you just hear like a thump as she sits down, and like the phone hits the concrete.
Like, you've behaved extremely well. My supervisors are very impressed with you.
I'm gonna lose my... Do you know how many... They're really cross. Oh, God.
That's all right. We'll send them letters. You don't have to worry about it. We will take care of everything. In fact, it's perhaps better if you don't mention it at all.
Later on, she's going to get a shocking amount of money in her bank account anonymously.
Or fired.
Yeah, maybe both. Basically, my goal here is to keep her talking.
I'm going to be one of the last out, just in case we need to do something sociable in order to paper over our trail.
Are you trying to find a different exit?
Yeah, I'm going to advise that some other people do that.
I'll go with you. I'll act like your assistant. I mean, I'm supposed to be your ghoul anyway, right?
Okay, I'll say to the concierge, like, some of my colleagues will be coming down now. Don't be alarmed.
Okay, I think even you're testing the 9 successes here.
No, so what I'll say, like, this is just me trying to play quick, like, psychology. I'll say to her, if you have any questions, please talk to my colleague, Agent Jones. And then I'll also go on the blower to Ken and be like, if anybody asks, your name's Agent Jones.
That's fine.
I think Ernest will be taking another exit, but he'll be staying in the building, but by an alternative exit. But his motives are very much in case Kenna comes back down.
Okay, so you tail up the last people actually leaving the building.
But he's not going to go out the front door because obviously he's already been seen by the concierge, so he's going to be by another door but not leaving the building.
So, got it. Kenneth and Balthazar march out the front like they own the place. Balthazar cloak flapping,
Oh, absolutely. I've after 40 years, I've perfected the art of the swish.
I think there's probably like some starch that you use that kind of keeps it a little bit more sticky out than it would naturally be.
Absolutely.
Tybert and Seraphima will leave together, and I think if we sort of look like reprobates, I think
you're
if
going
we
out
just
the garage.
yes, I think it's best that we do, and leave together. But he's going to keep his crowbar on it. He's not going to restash it in its holster.
I will say, just to speed this up, the people leaving by the garage have quite an easy way of it. The lifts are programmed now to let you out because of the alarms and things like this, and there is like a booth for a security guard on the door by the garage, and it's currently empty. He's probably gone around to the front, see what's going on, so you just walk out.
I'll bring the van round.
I speak into the earphone to Megabyte. So you're going to erase any footage of us, right?
Yep, on it. I'm working on that now.
Just erase everything, otherwise it's kind of obvious where you were.
You know what? In fact, that's a much better idea. Let's just erase everything. Oh, look at that! A power cut.
The lights.
All
go
the
down.
lights turn off.
You've just slipped out of the electrical revolving doors before the power goes down. And
Don't
the
panic,
lights,
Ernest.
the lights going off outside luckily take some of the interest off the man dressed as a pantomime vampire and the teenager. Well, he's a young man, but with fancy glasses and a plaid shirt. Though you still do get a few odd looks as you march past. But,
wait,
you know,
Jacob wants to take the concierge aside.
For private debrief.
What are you going to do
I'm
to
not
her?
hunger.
she is obviously like you recognise her for one. She's like sitting leaning against the building with her phone like on her ear, like clearly just listening to someone. Talk.
Bella
Hi.
Lugosi there is a secret agent. Trust me.
Operational security. It's the one way we know I am definitely not a terrorist. Please come with me. I need to give you a debrief, just part of the procedure, and so that you know what to expect in the.
Do you mind if I tag along?
Of course, please.
At this point, she is so surprised. Her evening is going very badly. Yeah, this is low challenge rating, so I think I'll just leave it as she will follow you.
Yep. Is there a small, like, a private office we can talk in?
Yeah, there's the porters. They'll have
that'll
like
do
they
fine.
have a bit down the. Yeah, sure, okay. Oh God, God, what a day.
Oh god, does Ernest know this is happening?
No.
Probably not. It's a different
Nope.
exit.
You guys
Darn
are
it.
coming out walking. I imagine it's like if you're walking around a building, you guys are going clockwise, the other guys are going anti-clockwise.
This
Wait,
is
wait.
not our domain, and you can't go into someone else's domain and eat their food.
It's just a sip.
She takes you down to like a staff entrance, and there's like a table, coffee, cloakroom sort of set up down here.
That will do fine.
Tea?
That won't be necessary. I am going to switch on Or to make sure I have her attention, and I am going to
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Kenneth needs to do something when you switch on Or. I can't remember what that is.
composure plus intelligence versus manipulation plus presence.
Okay, make your roll.
Okay, that is 4 successes.
God damn it! I got 3.
Okay, you're awed.
I'm awed.
It's just after a brief patter to assert that the Or has taken hold.
Yeah, she's just staring at you like you're kind of crazy and amazing.
Yeah, cool. I will.
So am I.
I will also say to the effect, you've done really well. We need to. We've done really well. There's just.
Thank you.
We just need to take a quick fingerprint. And I will have. Kenneth, have you been displaying that you are hungry?
Yeah.
I will indicate to you that you can have the first sip.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Well,
Oh no.
I'm gonna have the first sip. Ken likes this woman. He's probably gonna use a level 2 power on him. That I have because I've got discipline affinity. Lingering kiss.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Hell yeah! That's my boy!
What does that do?
The kiss of a vampire induces near ecstasy in mortals, but this power leaves other kisses in the dust. Mortals fed upon by the user becomes addicted to the
Oh
kiss,
dear.
obsessing over it, even seeking the vampire out for repeated feelings.
All
Mortals
I know
often
is
become
Ken.
anemic, self-harm, or even die from addiction, but vampires
Oh
find
my
it
God.
useful power.
Yeah, we got info, and my son got a girlfriend.
I'm just gonna take 1 dot.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
What's her resonance, by the way? Oh, she'd probably be Sagrin.
What is the resonance? Because Jacob said before when I asked that it was the flavour of the blood, but what does that actually mean?
So basically, resonances is like what the person was feeling as they died, or as they were fed upon. Basically, what's in the blood. So the book lists them as like choleric, melancholy, phlegmatic, or sanguine, like the kind of the four humours. Choleric is like angry, and it usually affects skills like celerity or potence. Melancholy is like sad and sort of morose, and that affects things like fortitude, obfuscate. Sanguine, the book references as horny. So I think that's probably where she's at about now as the ore kicks in.
With both the ore and me using lingering kiss.
Yeah, let's go for sanguine. So you just take slake 1 point of hunger. Do you pass her over to Balthazar, or are you just kind of like...
I mean, join in.
This is some weird family bonding.
I am going to take a taste as well. I am not going to make it lingering, but...
Might overwhelm the poor woman.
I know. So I'm definitely aware that this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Or that this is like a faux pas. I wasn't counting on ending up with someone who's been addicted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say to Ken, that's everything. Go tell the others I'll be with them in a second.
Okay.
You've done amazingly. I have just one more word for you, and that word is forget. And I am going to make her forget this interaction, including Ken and mine's faces.
Okay, great. She'll be addicted to something she doesn't know.
Exactly.
That's going to fuck her
God.
up. Okay,
So
cool.
she's going to slowly
so
go crazy.
Yeah, you've ruined one woman's life. Okay, Ernest and Co, you've stepped out and you're looking. I think Megan's probably just around now, pulling out with the van. If you're coming to get them, but you don't know where Kenneth and Balthazar have gone. Like, they have not joined you out the back immediately.
Yeah, I think the van has arrived.
Yeah, the van
front.
pulls up at this
Yeah.
point.
Ernest will go in and will proudly present a a toaster like iron, one of the ones that like opens up, to Meg and be like, "I brought you one of the laptops."
It's like a toasted sandwich maker.
I mean, she knows you actually got the laptop because she saw it on Ken's live stream, so she's not worried. She's going to just say, "Thank you, Ernest. You think of things. You think of things."
Now, Ken and Balthazar, considering that the van has pulled up, what you're doing, because you kind of hear it come as you're kind of coming up from the basement.
Yeah, approach
Well,
discreetly.
I've got cons. I can be like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
I'm
come to
saying,
this-"
where are you, Ken? What the hell's taking you so long?
I don't know what happened. Time got away from me.
Okay.
Time got away from you, eh?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to roll insight, Megabyte?
Yeah, I would like to roll insight,
I am
please.
clearly lying. There's no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, there's
There's, like,
blood
blood dribbling down
around
your
your
chin.
mouth. Like,
This is the point where Duke arrives and goes, just tying up a few loose ends. Shall we move?
Ernest is going to be like, "Get in the car. What did you do?"
talk
Tied
about
up
it
a few
later.
loose ends.
Later.
Tyburn, shut the doors. Let's get out of here.
I mean, we told you these weren't good people. Or good vampires, for that matter. And with more pieces than puzzle floating around right now, our coterie still has a long way to go to solve the mystery of the missing ghoul. Be sure to tune in next week to see where our investigation takes us next. But until then, thank you for listening to Direcast. If you'd like to keep up to date with episodes and announcements, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Direcast, and on Instagram at DirecastPod, and subscribe to us on your favourite podcatcher. And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us, maybe consider giving us a rating or review, or sharing us with a friend. We'd really love that. Direcast is Lukey Slynn, Matt George Lovett, Jacob War, Helen, Peter Wellman, and H Folkmans. This week we were joined by our extra special guest, KC. KC does things on the internet, but you won't be able to find him, because he lives under a rock. You may be able to summon him with the bat signal. Our logo and banner art are by H Folkmans. The Direcast theme and Masquerade variation were composed and performed by Matt George Lovett. This episode was edited by H Folkmans. This week we were playing the cult classic Vampire the Masquerade, published by White Wolf Entertainment. We couldn't possibly give you all the links to all the places to find it, but we'll post some links to resources on how to get into the game in the episode description. And at least for this week, that's how the Direcast.
I'd like to say, Serafina, I want you to ride shotgun. Look out the window, just see if your magic powers can see anything as we drive around.
I think Ernest is also going to suggest,
Right.
if I drive, you can look at the laptop.
Nobody drives my van but me.
But I cannot use the laptop, darling.
The young blood can.
The young blood is in enough trouble with you dragging him into every possible problem. What were you thinking?
For a start, I was thinking that this one would know better than to leave evidence of his food around his mouth.
I was thinking you shouldn't go eating food in someone else's domain, particularly not when it's... We met her.
And we have covered our tracks.
Oh, yes, very well, I can see. He gestures at the mouth all around Kenneth.
Bar one, minor loose end.
Are you telling me none of it is on her clothing?
None.
Of course not. Who would let such sweet...
Oh, whack! Have a moment of
What have
gravitas.
you done to him? Oh, come on. Is he gonna be one of my types?
That remains to be seen.
What does that mean?
Oh, I don't want to teach him how to do my thing. Oh.
Yeah, just
So
don't,
do your
just
thing.
don't develop a taste for sanguine, okay?
What's your thing?
That's a leading question. Shall we go?